Picture this. You are an archaeologist studying human history. You dig up ruins in the freezing tundra of Siberia, the dense jungles of the Amazon, the sweeping deserts of Egypt, and the remote islands of the Pacific. These ancient groups of humans were separated by thousands of miles and tens of thousands of years. They never met. They never spoke. Yet every single one of them did the exact same strange thing. They built altars. They performed rituals. They believed in invisible spirits, gods, or supernatural forces. From an evolutionary standpoint, this makes absolutely zero sense. Building temples costs massive amounts of energy. Sacrificing your best livestock to an invisible sky god is a terrible waste of precious calories. So why did every single human culture on Earth develop religion? Why didn't natural selection wipe out this incredibly expensive, irrational behavior? The answer is going to completely change the way you look at human civilization. Religion is not an evolutionary mistake. It is the single most powerful survival technology our species ever invented. Before we dive into the mind-blowing psychology of why your brain is literally wired to believe, I want to do a quick poll. Did you grow up in a religious household? Drop a this emoji in the comments below if you did, or a this emoji if you grew up entirely secular. Let's see what the breakdown of our community looks like today. To understand why your brain invented gods, we have to look at a biological glitch called a Hyperactive Agency Detection Device, or HADD. Imagine you are an ancient hunter-gatherer walking through a dark forest, and you suddenly hear a rustling sound in the bushes. You have two choices. Option A, you assume it is just the wind. Option B, you assume it is a hungry, invisible predator waiting to kill you. If you choose option A, and it is actually a predator, you are dead. You get eaten, and your genetics are wiped from the gene pool. But if you choose option B, assuming there is a conscious agent in the bushes, and it is only the wind, you just get a little spooked and run away. You survive. Because of this brutal evolutionary math, your brain was hardwired to be overly paranoid. We evolved to see agency and intent where there is absolutely none. We see faces in the clouds. We hear footsteps in the creaking floorboards of an empty house. Our ancient ancestors looked at a terrifying thunderstorm, a devastating drought, or a raging volcano, and their overly paranoid brains instantly assumed, someone is doing this on purpose. Someone is angry. The rustling bushes became forest spirits. The thunder became a sky god. We didn't just invent the supernatural. Our survival depended on imagining it. But seeing spirits in the trees doesn't explain massive, organized world religions. To understand that, we have to look at the biggest problem ancient humans ever faced: each other. In the 1990s, an anthropologist named Dunbar discovered a fascinating limit to the human brain. Based on the size of our neocortex, humans can only maintain about 150 stable, meaningful relationships. This is famously known as the Dunbar Number. If you have a tribe of 50 to 150 people, everyone knows everyone. If someone is a thief, a liar, or a selfish coward, the group gossips about them, and they get punished or exiled. The tribe survives through mutual trust. But what happens when we invent agriculture? Suddenly, we have cities of 5,000, 10,000, or 100,000 people. The Dunbar number collapses. You are surrounded by strangers. You can't trust them. Why shouldn't a stranger steal your grain when no one is looking? Why should a stranger risk their life to fight alongside you in an army? Without a way to force massive crowds of strangers to cooperate, early cities should have ripped themselves apart. Humanity needed a massive, universal glue. We needed a big brother that could watch everyone, all the time, even in the dark. Enter the moralizing high gods. If you can convince 10,000 strangers that an invisible, all-knowing, all-powerful creator is constantly watching them, and that this creator will punish them with eternal suffering if they steal, murder, or cheat, boom. You have instantly solved the freeloader problem. People start behaving, even when the police aren't looking, because God is looking. Religion was the ultimate evolutionary hack. Tribes that shared a fierce belief in the same gods cooperated better, fought harder, and absolutely crushed tribes that didn't. Religion allowed human cooperation to scale from 150 people to millions. But wait, how do you know if a stranger actually believes in your god, or if they are just faking it to get free food and protection from the group? This brings us to the weirdest part of religion, the rituals. Fasting for a month, circumcising your children, shaving your head, or sacrificing your most expensive goat to the altar. Why do religions demand such painful or costly things? Evolutionary biologists call this costly signaling theory. If joining a tribe is free and easy, liars and freeloaders will join just to exploit you. But if joining the tribe requires you to permanently tattoo your face, give up 10% of your income, or memorize hundreds of ancient songs, the fakers will quit. The cost is the filter. Rituals are an evolutionary lie detector test. If a stranger wears the same religious symbols and performs the same agonizing rituals as you, your ancient brain instantly knows this person is fully committed. I can trust them with my life. Today, the world looks very different. In many modern societies, traditional religious belief is shrinking, but the biological wiring that created it hasn't gone anywhere. We no longer need angry sky gods to enforce cooperation because we invented modern police forces, supreme courts, contracts, and credit scores. But our brains still deeply crave that tribal connection, that shared fiction, and that costly signaling. Instead of ancient gods, modern humans project this exact same evolutionary wiring onto new things. We form hyper-tribal political factions. We paint our faces and scream in stadiums for sports teams. We worship celebrities, buy expensive branded clothing to signal our status, and aggressively defend our internet subcultures. The altars have changed, but the human animal remains exactly the same. We are a species that survives by telling each other grand, unifying stories. Religion wasn't a glitch in human evolution. It was the masterpiece that allowed us to conquer the planet. If this deep dive completely changed the way you view human history, type the word tribe in the comments below so I know you survived to the very end. I read every single one. And if you want to keep exploring the fascinating ancient wiring of our modern brains, hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.